Hey YouTube, did you know that John chapter 3 verse 13 says that no man has ever ascended into heaven except he that came down, and that would be Jesus. But 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 11, that says that Elijah was whisked in a whirlwind up into heaven. Do you think Jehovah gave him a spacesuit? There were a few important points I never got around to developing correctly in my last video of this title. In the previous video, I kind of skirted over the statement that apostates were here to deliver a simple message to those involved in the cult. Think for yourself. It's a simple statement, but clearly very hard to achieve, especially when the cult leadership and their elders demonize thinking and demand a sheep-like attitude, backed up with threats of eternal death and rewards of Panda Bear World. In view of this, let's contrast the behaviours of the apostate against the governing body. The governing body tells its sheep not to consider any information from outside of Watchtower comments as credible. When I showed some practising witnesses a television news clip discussing child abuse here in the UK some years ago, they simply refused to accept it, and even refused to check the story's validity. They said that Satan's media had planted this untrue story to stumble the weak, and they were strong, and not just strong, they're Danmera strong. They said that the Watchtower had told them to beware of independent research and thinking, and they weren't prepared to risk their everlasting life for the sake of earthly, satanic information. Clearly these model witnesses were not interested in unbiased truth. They don't want to be Stepford escapees and free. These model witnesses are not even interested in the welfare of the children around them in the Kingdom Hall, all whilst standing on the householder's doorstep and championing child safety in the Catholic Church. When it's Catholics, the media is suddenly fair. When it's them, it's the devil's media being evil. But why would Satan allow the media to expose his own favourites? That makes no sense. Yet this is the mental shadow world of nonsense and blatant stupidity that the cult are able to trick intelligent people into believing, slaving for, and giving their lives and money to. It just amazes me. Now compare this state of cult exploitation to the typical apostate intent. Although there are a few here on YouTube on a mission to steal sheep, which is for me another disrespect, replacing one illusionary faith-based fan dance with another, the typical apostate is here to provide objective information and restore clear sight to those blind witnesses. It's really tricky for us apostates because the cult has been so successful at building a wall of separation from reality and enforcing it. But unlike the cult, we make no promises, sell no dreams, issue no threats, we tickle no ears. We offer only unblinkered sight, and frankly, that is not as attractive as a dream that you've worked for. Because of this, we can only reach those that already have their own doubts. But although I'm not professional in this area, and I therefore appeal to anyone listening with greater knowledge to step in, it seems there's a developing field of research around how to deconstruct an irrational belief system and create that initial doubt in faith. It is by no means conclusive, but indications are that first you need to induce or play on an area of cognitive dissonance that is not immediately too controversial, a gateway question if you will, and then ask the witness to explain it. Of course, to avoid that person just running away, the dissonance is best induced with a friendly, innocuous request for help in understanding your own confusion. So a scenario may go something along the lines of, I'm really confused with something, can you help me? I don't understand this. Then you insert the gateway question. Basically, you gently Get the witness to defend their nonsense, not just repeat it. According to the developing theory, it's defending the indefensible that causes belief to snap. The dissonance will be resolved with loss of belief if you can cause the individual to address the issue honestly. But there's the rub with witnesses: intellectual honesty. Apparently, sharp, intelligent humour intended to induce dissonance is very effective too. But it was also interesting to note that belief in even ridiculous things is induced by constant repetition, regular recitals, restrictions of opposing information, group expectation and peer pressure, fear of consequences of disbelief, an emotional reward and insufficient time to critically analyse, and being made to bear witness to others. And this is our cult in a nutshell. It's a well-oiled, professional mind control machine, and we apostates combat that with just plain old reality. But before I go, there is something I'd like witnesses to explain. We live in a world with war and peace, birth and death, starvation and obesity, sickness and health, beautiful landscapes and ugly pollution, beautiful and hideous animals in a constant struggle for life, desperate people in pain and real anguish, and the wealthy living a fantastic life. Then take a step back and see our solar system, our local galaxy, and the universe in its immeasurable void. And in this enormity of unchartable, uncountable stars, black holes and quantum chaos, Jesus has cradled our tiny, troubled planet in his loving, all-powerful arms since 1914, whispering to the governing body, "Don't let them masturbate. Sell more watchtowers."